I'm coming back in.
Man, oh man, we back at
At
it
it.
again. Yo, what it do? It's your boys Juice and Lou. We back here with another banger for y'all, man. The NBA season is over. The Boston Celtics won the NBA Finals in 5 games.
Like Lou called it.
It was technically 4 games. I think they lost 4 on. I think they lost game 4 on purpose just to win at home. That's what I think. But the Celtics are NBA champions, and they ironically just so happened to win on the same day that they won 16 years prior, 2008. What are the odds, right? But now that that's over, Jaylen Brown. No, hold on. Jaylen Brown won Finals MVP. Is that deserved?
Deserved?
Deserved.
He definitely played great on both sides, as well as Tatum. You could definitely tell Tatum was gunning for it near the end of the game 5 in the third and fourth quarter after they was already up like 15 to 20.
100%.
By halftime. But was it deserved? I think he deserved it based on his overall playoff stature. Honestly, because he outplayed Tatum like the whole playoffs to me. As what if you want to call it 1A, 1B, or whatever, as the more offensive ceiling for the Boston Celtics this season. At least in the playoffs. I think he deserved it for this finals to win Finals MVP. I kind of had a feeling he would win it after winning like the Eastern Conference MVP.
Yeah, he was 100% winning it after that for sure.
Yeah, so I don't blame the voters getting this one right.
And I get it. Like Tatum led all the Celtics in all stats. I get that, sure. But when you actually looking at the games and the eye test is there, not just looking at the stats, Jaylen Brown all around has played better and more efficient than Jason Tatum. It's not close. I'm not even gonna lie, it's not close. Because if Jaylen Brown was that guy, right? Drew Holiday played a better game 2, was it? Because game 1 was the Porzingis game, right? Game 2 was the Drew Holiday game. Game 3,
both had 30.
Both had 30. That's fair, I guess. But mainly that was Jaylen Brown because he stayed consistent at least. Jason Tatum even scored 20 game 1 or 2. So and he was shooting terrible. So that 30, him dropping 30 was destined to happen. But at least Jaylen Brown did it consistently. He was Ben hooping. Game 4 they dropped. I think, like I said, I think it was still on purpose. Everybody played bad because you went back and destroyed them at home. Like you can't destroy somebody for 3 straight games and then just get blown out game 4 and then go back and destroy them on your home court. That doesn't just happen. So, and like you said, Jason Tatum was wholeheartedly stat padding in game 5. Like, come on now, because he knew he wasn't going to win it. That's why he was in. If he was confident he was going to win, he wouldn't have been stat padding like that. Now, is it jealousy? No, I don't think it's jealousy. But
jealousy.
I don't think I've ever seen, since they won, anybody else hold the championship outside of Tatum. I'm not even going to lie. I'm not even trolling. I promise you. I have not seen. Every time I see Tatum, he's holding that trophy. He's held that trophy more than he's held his son in that span.
Man, dude's a big boy now, man. He's too big to be getting out. Man, big now.
Man, that's crazy. Let's not get too off track here. We are here to have or to say our own personal top 10 players in the NBA currently. Now we're
Every
not going
season,
based
man.
off going in the next season. We're not going based. Well, we are going based off this past season, but we just are going based off of our own personal. I think this person is better than that person. That's just how it is. That's how it is. So we're going based off that. We're gonna go from 10 to 6, and then 5 to 1. So yeah,
Yeah.
yep. So
Let's get it on,
let's do it,
man.
man. My 10.
No honorable mentions.
Dang, I didn't really think about that actually.
I can give you time to think. I'll go ahead and
Yeah, you go ahead.
give my honorables for my 10.
Hmm.
I got 3. Devin Booker, uh, Jaylen Brown, and LeBron. This is the first time LeBron is
Oh,
not in my top 10.
wow.
I watched a pretty good amount of Lakers games. I know y'all probably in the comments, start tagging.
I just saw some. LeBron had his most efficient shooting year of
He
his career.
did. He had the same shooting percentage from 3 from in regular season as Steph Curry actually.
Yeah.
Um, but if you watched how Braun played, it just was not the same Braun that we're used to,
Hmm.
and that's cool because he's like almost 40 or whatever, and going to year 22. But like, the 10 guys above him, I think if they all had their own teams, well, honestly, well, 2 of them kind of already had their own teams the way their teams were this year.
Yeah.
But you roll that ball out, tell them try to make the playoffs. I just think these guys are well equipped to do that going into next season, other than LeBron, especially at his age. But the Lakers whole obviously were better team wise with LeBron than some of the players I'm gonna name. So that leads into my 10th player. After this season, he is at the 10th spot, and that's Jalen Brunson for me.
Mm.
Cracking the 10. I thought it was really impressive how he played down the stretch after losing Randall, losing Mitchell Robinson, losing OG. Who else? I mean, everybody was going down like flies in the playoffs. The only consistent one, was him and maybe even Chenzo. Hart eventually got hurt in the playoffs. He averaged 32, I believe, during the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
Led the Knicks to the 2nd seed. I didn't have the Knicks being the 2nd seed. I think I had them maybe 4th or 5th.
Yeah.
Again, it was a really impressive season for him, and he deserves a lot of credit, especially at his height, doing what he just did. Like I said, leading them to the 2nd seed. So yeah, I think Jalen Brunson enters the top 10 for me finally. I never thought I would say that honestly, but he had a great year.
Man, I don't know. I think I'm gonna go based off my honorable mentions too. So I'm thinking low key. Stats probably aren't the best to show it, but you could throw Domantas Sabonis in there.
This one.
You
What?
could throw him in there, man. He had a really dominant second half of the
Oh,
season.
brother.
Really dominant second half. But you could throw the Kevin Durant's in there, the Devin Booker's in there, like you said.
KD not top 10?
Nah. No. He did not have a better year. Because he was more like real passive. He wasn't really Kevin Durant this year. And then they had so
But
many
why
high
do you know that?
expectations.
Why do you think that is though?
Well, I get it. Yeah, you being double teamed and all that stuff.
No,
And
it's not
yeah,
even double
Bradley Beal
team.
stinks now. So yeah, I get it.
It's like the team around him just wasn't built
To
for
what?
this year,
Yeah.
and they were in and out of the lineup the whole year.
Yeah. But I just don't think he's better than the 10 that I got.
Okay.
I respect it. So with that being said, my 10, he's in your honorable mentions. He's at my 10. I was actually thinking about if I should even leave him off the list too. I was thinking about it. But LeBron's gonna be at 10. But he can't be no lower than 10. You know what I'm saying? Like we said, best shooting percentages from three of his career. And he's just getting older. Sadly, we're witnessing his final 1, maybe 2 years. I don't know, man. This is actually nah. I say 2 years because no way LeBron's not going to get a retirement tour. This is no way.
Mm,
There's no way he's just
yeah.
going to just retire out of nowhere. This is not happening. So I'll give LeBron 2 years.
Marketing.
But we're witnessing it's a new era. We got a whole bunch of younger stars, and
Hmm.
that's just it, man. Yeah, LeBron is at 10 for me.
Okay. I actually had to do a quick swab at 9. I forgot an honorable mention with Curry as well. He just didn't have a
He's
good.
not your top 10.
If Braun's not in there, I can't put Curry in there. I'm not
Really?
gonna lie. Nah. It's just because the
Wow.
Warriors as a whole had a bad season. They didn't make playoffs. He played all right. I don't think this is one of his better seasons though. Like I said, him and Braun shot 40% from three. I think he shot 45% from the field and had put up 25. Um, but yeah, they just need he needs a better supporting cast. A lot of people starting to say that 2022 ring is a carry job by him because of the
100%.
roster that he had
Definitely was.
compared to
Clay
now.
memes I see every day.
That fall off. Um, Clay Thompson, no, we don't know if he'll be back. Andrew Wiggins had a bad year. Like the whole team, it's not really his fault that he's not on the list, honestly, because like the team just around him didn't support him enough to have great numbers or better numbers. But at 9, I'm going with the alien Victor Wembanyama. Yeah, I think he's top 10
Oh
already.
my gosh.
Um,
Wow.
he averaged 22 after the All Star break. I think he averaged 4 blocks a game.
Wow.
um, he shot. He didn't shoot the three as efficient. I think only 33% from the three or 34.
32. Actually.
32. Um, he averaged 22 points. I think 12, 11 rebounds a game. Some games he had a lot of passing display. He's 7'4", obviously with an 8-foot wingspan, carrying the Spurs. They finished number 1 when he's out there in defensive rating. When he's not out there, they're dead last as a defensive team. That's all you need to know about that. Runner up in DPOY already in his rookie season. Got the Rookie of the Year trophy.
Mm.
There's just not a lot of players like Wemby out there, you know? And I think, yeah, I mean, Curry, LeBron, Booker, and Brown all had like the veteran on their side, I guess you could say. But I think if you just talk flat out better player, I just think at this point in their careers, it's just going to be hard for them to be in that same tier as Wemby going forward. So yeah, I think he enters the top 10 at my 9 spot as the alien.
That's wow. Wow. My 9 spot was Steph. Same with
Okay.
Braun, like OG, obvious Hall of Famer. But their time is just it's coming up. Their time is coming up, and like you said, 2022 was definitely a carry job, and it's been like that ever since. It's just been like that ever since. It's
So how's Curry better than Braun?
Just been Steph and friends. How's he better than Braun?
But Lakers made the playoffs at least.
See, the thing is though, like it can be interchangeable. Both of them could be interchangeable. Like I just don't think I don't see him lower. I just don't. They're not better. They're not better than the 8 that I have down there. But
Okay.
Steph, like I said, Steph and Braun can be interchangeable because both average the same points. Just Braun averaged like a couple more rebounds and assists, but it's they're kind of close in stats. Like when you really think
Yeah.
about it, they're really close in stats. Kind of. LeBron, I think, only averaged three more assists and like no, I think four more rebounds and like two more assists. So like that's not far off. Like so, yeah, they're really interchangeable, and I think they had the same record. The Warriors and
Hmm.
Lakers they had the same
I
record, if
think
not a couple games.
yeah, I think the Lakers finished maybe a game or two above them.
Yeah,
Um,
the Lakers were one game ahead,
yeah.
47-35, and they were 46-36. So it was only a game difference. Yeah, one made the playoffs, one didn't. But why would you want to? I mean, why would you not want to see the Lakers versus the Nuggets? You know what I'm saying? Like, who doesn't want to see
Match.
that
Yeah.
rematch? You know what I'm saying? Granted, the same outcome, but still. But yeah, that's Steph is at my nine.
Okay. Going in the eight. Um, actually, I'm glad we talked about this a little earlier. I got Tatum at eight. Um,
Mm,
even though he didn't win Finals MVP, he's still the number one player on the Celtics, and you could just tell watching the games. The Mavs attracted more to his gravity, and it was just eye opening for people to say like, like Brown is like clearly one option one when he would start possessions in the corner
mm,
of like the game. So I think I understand why people feel Brown is better because he got the trophy now, but I just there's like no he doesn't get the same attention as the number one option. Like
mm.
all the guys above him on this list get number one option attention.
Yeah.
And until he is on like a team by himself, which I mean, why would you leave Boston now? Obviously, uh, he just won't ever get that respect from a lot of media people or whatever, just due to the fact that Tatum is getting all the attention when they dribble drive and try to play make. It's usually Tatum playmaking. I also saw a stat that out of the 30 field goals that Brown made in the finals, Tatum assisted on 9 of them. So that should tell you all about that. That's almost 30, 33% of his makes were from Tatum assisting.
Mhm.
So I think Tatum, like you said earlier, he's led his team in the finals, points, rebounds, assists. He's the only player not to win finals MVP. All the other ones, I think it was Jokic, LeBron, like 4 times, and
Yeah. I
uh,
think Hakeem was one of them.
yeah, probably Hakeem. All were able to do that and win Finals MVP.
Yeah.
So, hey man, I think if you roll the ball out too with Tatum and Brown, I think I'm taking Tatum almost every time as well. Uh,
Yeah.
so I got Tatum entering the eighth spot here on my list.
My eighth spot is Jalen Brunson. That's my eighth spot. And just watching what he was doing for like that final like month, and then in the playoffs when he was dropping like 40 every single game, like averaging it. It was insane. Jalen Brunson, with all the injuries the Knicks was dealing with, willed that team, and he did what he had to do, and he just kept the Knicks alive. But it was just too much for the Pacers, and they still took them to 7 games. They still took them to 7 games. Granted, would that have been a better not matchup, but would it have been a better series with the Knicks playing the Celtics? 100%, because the Pacers had no business being there.
Mm-hmm.
The Knicks was just too hurt. But the fact that they made it that far says a lot. Because the first series they played Philly. They played Philly.
The Knicks, yeah.
Played Philly. Granted, Philly was hurt too, but I think the Knicks they had way worse injuries. So, and that went to like how many games?
To 6.
That went to 6 games. So the Knicks are not only hurt, but they're playing these long games. Like they're playing these games that are going deeper in the series. So, but Jalen Brunson was just so dominant. He was just being so dominant, and it was just hold on. In the last 10 games, Brunson was averaging 38 and 8 assists. 38 and 8. That's crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, Brunson is my 8. Brunson's my 8.
Okay. At 7, I got my guy here, Kevin Durant, coming in at 7. People bashed the team a lot. Not really KD's as much, just because Stevens was like injury prone as well, and he was like really the only one who was staying healthy on the team. They just didn't have a system right for him, and he still was able to put up like 27, 7 and 4, I believe, on pretty good efficiency in the regular season, as usual. Playoff time, it seemed like he was the only one trying to hoop. I mean, Devin Booker didn't show up until the 2 home games they had. He was terrible in Minnesota.
Yeah.
And Bradley Beal was basically a no-show for most of the season, anyways. And then Grayson Allen eventually got hurt, I think, in the playoffs, but I think he played through it. And Nurkic was a no-show in the playoffs as well. So, I mean, it really would just suck for him with the team around him. I think if you're talking about better player, there's just nothing. There's a lot of players that's not doing what KD's doing. I think you put KD on the Celtics, they win this year. Just take him off for Tatum or Brown. Probably Brown. That's what people have been saying, because I remember they were talking about trading Brown for KD way back when he requested a trade out of Brooklyn.
Mm-hmm.
I still think they win the title. Like, KD's like a perfect interchangeable 1B star on a lot of super teams or whatever you want to call it, because his game is just flawless in terms of like trying to score effortlessly, and he's gotten better defensively on teams obviously that he has to play defense on, because no one else around him is playing defense. So huge credit. I mean, he's still balling after tearing his Achilles 5 years from now. So I got KD still thriving in his 30s, late 30s at number 7.
It's not bad. My number 7, I'm gonna go Tatum. I mean, same thing like you said. He basically did everything right except his shooting percentages. That's about it. He did everything he could. He just did not shoot the ball well, and he's just not. From what I've seen, like I said, this is who I think was the best, and he was just not better than who I have. So, but Tatum is dominant, and he has times where he has dominated games, but he also has somebody to bail him out. If he's not having a good game, he has somebody there to bail him out.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. But yeah, shout out to Tatum. But he's at my 7.
Alrighty. Moving along now. Don't want to make this vid super long.
Yeah.
6, got my boy in Minnesota, and Edwards. Was able to lead a Timberwolves team. People definitely had hopes last year after, they gave the Nuggets a run for their money in the first round. Then they end up beating them this year in 7 after being down 3-2 in the series, and then being down 20 at halftime in Game 7.
Yep.
And was able to show leadership and whatnot. There's some things in his game that I think he could work on a little bit, but he definitely has the qualities of a number 1 option, as shown, leading all of his team to the conference finals. Obviously had one of the better teams in his career. I think they ranked number 1 or 2 in defense this season. I just think for him, his game going forward, need a little bit more shot making ability in the half court offense.
Yeah.
And things of that nature. Some games he's on, some games he's really passive as well. So once he learns how to balance it out, I think he'll be possibly top 5 going into next year. But I think he's right outside my top 5. That's 6.
I am going to agree. Anthony Edwards is also my number 6. He did everything right. He did everything he could. Just in that moment, I don't want to say he crumbled, but there were some games where he did not have his best. But he's scratching the surface of a superstar. Like you said, he's scratching the surface of a top 5. And I think next year, he's certainly going to be top 5. But right now...
Stamping it? Certainly?
I'm stamping it. He's going to be a top 5 player next year. He might be in MVP conversation next year. Stamping it.
He might be.
Stamping it. Because there's no way you make the Western Conference Finals, Game 7. And it's like you want...
Semifinals.
Yeah, you right there from the finals. And you know if you made the finals, you would have been a better matchup. You knew you were the better matchup for the Celtics. And you was right there.
Yeah. What, they losing 5?
They lost in 5. Yeah. Wait, who lost in 5?
The Timberwolves, the Mavs.
No, they went to Oh no, it was 5. It was 5.
Went to 7 with the Nuggets.
I don't know why I got 7. Yeah, but they went to 5. So I'm like, you right there. You right there. So
obviously a couple games could have went their way, maybe.
Definitely.
But
yeah,
I'm gonna swing it back to you, man. Going into the top 5. Go ahead and bring it off.
Okay. So at 5, I got your boy, Shai. Shai at 5. He was a runner-up this year? Or
yeah, he was second.
Runner-up in MVP. Probably a lot of people, including him, think he deserved it. And, youngest team in the NBA ever, actually. NBA history, actually, to be a first seed.
Yeah.
And they did everything right, man. They just ran into some veterans. In Luka and them.
Barely.
They just
ran into PJ Washington. That's who we ran into. Child support Washington.
But yeah, Shai broke out completely. Shai, we knew he was good, but him and what he did for his entire team, not just for him, but for the Thunder, they all just got swagger to him, man. They all just got swagger to him. And next year, Shai is going to, will they be the first seed again? Probably not. But I think they go out. They already made a move, got Alex Caruso, brought him back. But I don't think they're done. They got a lot of picks that they can use to get somebody big in return. Maybe Paul George, get him back.
No, he can stay in LA, respectfully. We need big bodies. You're asking me, we need big bodies.
I mean, you always link to Hartenstein, stuff like that. Isaiah Hartenstein.
That's cool.
So
that's a plus.
But yeah, I just don't think I don't think the Thunder are done making moves, and I don't think they are done. I don't think they're a one-season wonder, thanks to Shai. So, he's at my 5.
Alrighty. And my 5, taking a big man in Philly, Joel Embiid, was MVP last year.
Wow.
Had an injury-riddled season. If not for it, he probably would have went back-to-back. The Sixers were the 2nd seed when he went down, I believe. And I think they were. I think when him and Maxey played, I think they were like 21-7 or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
When they were both on the court. So obviously they were showing dominance when those two are paired, but actually both of them did end up getting hurt at one point this season. But Embiid obviously missed more games. Before the injury, he was averaging 35 on the season with 12 rebounds and I think 5 or 6 assists. Easily probably would have won MVP, especially if he was healthy all year, because they probably would have been the 2nd seed again. And that probably would have done it for a lot of voters.
Yep.
Obviously, with him is playoffs, getting over the second round hump. I think he's the only MVP in history to never get past the second round yet. So looking forward to him in the second season. Honestly, the only thing holding him back as a player is health. So
Yeah.
I got Embiid slotting in at 5.
Dang. At 4, give me the Greek freak out in Milwaukee. Give me Giannis at 4. I really don't know why they fired Adrian Griffin. I honestly have no idea.
30-10, I think.
You're the first seed. If you have a problem with them, wait till the end of the season. Y'all are already first seed. Y'all are winning games, and then you bring in probably the worst coaching, the worst coach out there to bring in.
Glenn Rivers.
Like, what are you doing? Now you're like kind of floating everywhere, kind of. But that's not the point. Giannis did his thing, averaged 30 and 12. Also 7 assists. Ooh, 7. Yeah. Along with a block and steal a game. So, Giannis, we know he's going to be dominant. He can only do one thing, but he's going to be dominant in that one thing, and nobody's going to be able to stop him. But Giannis has always been top 5, and he's going to continue to be top 5. He's going to be at 4. But these top 3s, man, it's going to be, it's going to be tough.
Okay. At 4, I'm taking my boy Shea, going to put him there. Like you said earlier, I mean, he took, not him single-handedly, obviously, Chet returning helped, but a play-in team from last year, all the way to the first seed at the average age of the team being 23, and you're over here averaging 30, I think 6 and 6. 2 steals a game, 50+% shooting on the from the field. I think the only player to do that was MJ, and he won MVP.
Yep.
I mean, the stats are there. He's like a young Jordan. If you want to be honest, he's like a young Jordan, just from Canada. It's a young Jordan. But I think with him, I mean, he played good in pretty much the whole playoffs. The team around him, though, didn't play all that well. So, honestly, he just has to keep being him. I mean, we're going to get him some help eventually. Like you said, maybe hopefully in the draft. We got the 12th pick this year. So, I think last year we had the 12th pick and we drafted Jalen Williams. Well, that was 2 years ago. We drafted Jalen Williams. This past year we drafted Cason Wallace. That's who it was. Who actually was a good role player this playoffs for us. Mm-hmm. And you already bought the Caruso trade for Giddey. I think it was a good fit for us because we don't need a second playmaker. We just needed someone who could be that 3-and-D at the 2. And Caruso can play make at times as well, if necessary. But, Giddey needed the ball in his hands because he's not really a good defender or a great shooter. So I think Caruso next to Shea with J-Dub coming back, he needs to get a little bit better for us offensively in the half court. Dort played good in the playoffs. Chet just has to get a little stronger, put a little bit more weight, 10 to 15 pounds, like he said he's going to try to do. Mm-hmm. And then, like you said, got a lot of draft capital. If we want a superstar, great. If we don't, just draft young and build on that. But I got Shea at the 4 spot for my top 3.
Yep, man. Now it's going to start getting interesting. My 3 is going to be probably the MVP before he got hurt, Joel Embiid, man. He only played 39 games.
Not mad at that.
Which is insane. But in those 39 games, it was just pure dominance. He was averaging like 35, 12. But his presence on the floor for the Sixers was great. Tyrese Maxey had a breakout year. Well, yeah. I wouldn't say breakout year. He just had an even better year.
Did he win Most Improved Player?
Yeah, which is kind of crazy, actually. I don't think he.
Why is that crazy?
Kobe White, I think he should have got it.
I'm not gonna lie. I think Maxey deserved it. He held it down when Embiid was out.
Mm. But you can't give somebody most improved. He already was good.
But his numbers got better. I think he averaged, what, 4 or 5 more points?
Okay, so if Wemby averages 25, 13, and like 5 blocks this next year, does he deserve most improved player?
5 blocks is crazy. 5 blocks is crazy. It depends who else is runner up. I think for the Bulls though, I mean, obviously Kobe White played good. I just think for them, they like Kobe White had to play good for them to even have success because Lonzo's out and Zach LaVine missed a lot of time. So it's kind of was him and DeRozan's team on top of Vucevic. So he kind of had like no option. Kind of the same with Maxey. Like Embiid was out. I mean, you're not gonna get production from Tobias Harris, like you saw in the playoffs. So you just had to rely on Maxey, and I think he was able to come through this season for them.
Yeah, but I guess I don't know. Embiid, they was saying he was putting up Shaq numbers this season before he getting hurt, man. So I mean,
Yeah.
Embiid was definitely deserving of being a top 3 player. And I've noticed that the top 5 players, my top 5 players, are all international.
Yeah.
We're becoming an international league, man. It's crazy. But
Interesting.
Embiid definitely deserves number 3. His dominance, just everything. Just watch the games. Yes, is he a free throw merchant? 100%. But know the rules of the game, man, and that's just how it is. Embiid is number 3.
3, I got Giannis coming in here. The Bucks had I understand why they got rid of Griffin. I think it was because they said the defense wasn't that good, but don't bring in Glenn Rivers to replace him. Think that was gonna help. People were saying Doc Rivers cursed the team. That's why Giannis got hurt near the end of the season. Which isn't funny, obviously, no injury, but no, I was kind of excited to see him and Dame. I honestly thought they were gonna probably go to the title. When the season started, I think they had the best duo in basketball until games were getting played or whatever, and just they couldn't really figure it out how to like utilize each other to the best ability. Kind of were better without each other on the court at the same time. But I mean, Giannis still dominant on both sides of the ball. Like you said earlier, 30 and 11, shooting 61% from the field.
Yeah,
it's crazy. For him, I mean, honestly, at this point, I don't really think he needs a 3 ball. I would honestly try to boost his free throw up. I think he shot like 67% from the free throw line. If he could boost it like 75, that would be making 3 for 4 every time. I think that would be good for him. But yeah, I think Giannis here is my top 3. He's even though the injuries kind of held him down. It's the same story with him and Embiid.
Yeah.
For this season at least.
Yeah. And number 2, give me Big Luka, man. Big Luka. I think. Did he have a good finals? No. Did any of the Mavericks have a good finals? No. Should they have been there? Probably not. But I mean, it all happens, and Luka led and dragged that team, and he had the most points, rebound, assist totals out of everybody in the league of all time. Actually, maybe not all time. I think he was like second to either Wilt or like somebody.
Talking about in a season?
In a season, the regular season, I think. I think he had the highest point, rebound, assist totals, either the highest or second highest of all time. But somebody that dominant, I feel like you just can't win with your second half being another guard. I just feel like if your number 2 is a guard, it just can't work.
Talking about with Luka?
As a dynamic duo, I feel like if you're second option or your second best player, your duo is a guard and you're a guard, I don't think it'll work. Your duo can't be two
What
guards.
about LeBron and Kyrie?
LeBron, come on, man.
LeBron's big guard.
Come on, man. LeBron is 6'8", 6'9",
Luka's 6'8".
240.
Luka's 6'8". He just don't
Is
chase
Luka
down
LeBron?
blocks.
Is Luka even close to LeBron as far as physicality?
Does that really matter?
Yes.
On the offensive end?
You could be the same height, but if you sit here trying to play like Steph doing step back
I mean,
threes,
obviously, but obviously it works though. Kyrie and Luka. So why? I think, bro. I feel like if they played any other team that wasn't Boston, who is rent free in Kyrie's head for some reason, I think they probably would have won the championship. You want to be honest? I mean, because in Dallas, I think the stats were like he averaged the 2 games in Dallas was like 30 points, and then when he went to Boston, he averaged like 14 or 15.
The thing is with Luka, they just need another guy. Because the Warriors,
I do think they need another guy. Yeah,
the Warriors, they had the Steph Clay, but they also had the Draymond. They had the guy, the defensive anchor to rely on. I don't think that's PJ Washington.
How you feel about maybe Derek Lively?
Derek Lively played really well. I think he's going to be their starter. Gafford played cool too, but Lively, long term, definitely is going to be better.
So you think they need another forward?
I think they need that forward.
Maybe like an Andrew Wiggins.
Because you're not going to go too far if you try and put Derrick Jones Jr. on somebody big. They had Derrick Jones Jr. on Tatum, I think. Tatum, Brown. Actually, I think it was Brown. They had him on Brown.
Yeah, PJ was on Tatum.
Yeah. So, makes sense as to why Jaylen Brown was just, having his way. I mean, yeah. But they also need that guy that could... I feel like they need a spot-up shooter. I think they need a spot-up...
Yeah, Tim Hardaway played terrible for him.
Tim Hardaway was, oh my gosh, what are you doing? But give me like a Duncan Robinson. Give me like somebody that I can really trust instead of forcing people that can't shoot to be corner specialists. This is not going to work. If you give Luka a Duncan Robinson type player, a Sam Hauser was frying them off the bench. Makes no sense. But yeah, other than that, Luka definitely deserves the second pick or the second best player in basketball.
I had Luka there too. Averaged 34, 9 and 9. Honestly, he was the people's MVP.
Yeah.
They finished the 5th seed, so I kind of feel like that's why he didn't get it. Obviously needs to work on more effort on the defensive end. I don't expect him to be no defensive stopper, honestly, but can't have the highest ball buy rate in NBA playoffs.
Yep.
And expect to win a title like that. Defense has to come at a virtue, So I think the Mavs be back. I don't know if they'll make conference finals. They need definitely some, like you said, some roster upgrades. Probably at the 3rd and 4th position. The 3 and 4. And a little bit maybe off the bench, a backup. Well, Jaden Hardy played good. And Josh Green had his moments. But yeah, I think Luka, offensively, you're not going to get much better than you are this season, unless you average like 36, 10, and 10. But yeah, he's finishing at the 2 spot. And I think we all know who finishes at 1 again.
Yeah, we don't got to say none. The MVP of the league. 3-time MVP.
3 times.
3-time MVP.
3 and 4 years.
Jokic, man. It's crazy to think about. Jokic could have 4 straight MVPs. That's insane to think about. But
could have.
Yeah, it could have, man. But yeah, it's just the best player. It's probably going to continue to be the best player until at least.
They really just needed a bench, bro.
I already say
him and Murray balled that game 7. Everybody else was trash.
Yeah, literally. That's it. They missed the Bruce Browns. They missed the
Jeff Green.
the Jeff Greens, your vets.
And they need a backup center for him. Because he was gassed at some points in the playoffs.
Yeah, who's it? DeAndre Jordan out
Yes.
there? Like, what are we doing? What is going on here, yo?
Yeah, once they get depth, I'm not gonna lie, they probably be the best team in the league again.
Yeah. But rightfully so. Jokic's number one spot was understood. Doesn't really have to be explained. Averaged another triple double, didn't he?
I think it was maybe like half an assist short.
Yeah, just barely there, but rightfully so. I mean, we all get the point. Let me get the exact stats.
It was 25, 13, and 9 or something.
It was 26, 12.4 and 9. So yeah. But the last game he played against the Wolves, yeah, had 34, 19, and 7.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Murray went home.
Insane. But yeah, it's just get the Nuggets a bench like they had before, and they'll be right back to what they was doing a year, 2 years ago. Now it'd be 2 years ago. But yeah, I think that's really everything. You know, Jokic is number one. I think we all agreed on that. But let us know what y'all's top 10 is, man.
Let us know who had the better list, too.
Let us know who had the better list. Definitely.
Juice or the Lou.
And before we, get out of here, got to update our finals records.
You're 0-4.
To
how do you feel? Honestly, bro,
something like
we have like a challenge, like a loser.
Whoa.
Yeah, so I'm gonna need like something for these 4 losses you've been taking.
Dang, I got swept. In finals guesses.
See what happens next year, man.
We are gonna see, man.
OKC 2025 champs. Calling it now.
Low key.
Don't say Miami.
No. Unless Pat Riley goes and gets everybody.
Unless
we go get Donovan Mitchell. Unless we draft Bronny and bring in Braun, we not going to the finals next year. All honesty. But yeah. So sneaky Timberwolves. If the Knicks are healthy, Knicks.
Thunder Bucks finals, man. Come back to this episode when it happens.
I don't know. Give me. It's gonna be an interesting one. Give me Timberwolves Knicks.
Yeah, no one's watching that.
I don't know. We're gonna have to see next year. But hey man, thank you for watching this video. You already know what to do. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Post notices on. We love y'all. Thank you for the 1,000. We hit 1,000 subs,
finally,
man.
woo!
Y'all was here with us, man, for all these years. Appreciate y'all. All love. You already know. But we don't stop here. The grind keeps going. And until the next video, it's your boys Juice and Lou. And we out of here. Peace.